Welcome to the channel. This is Oblivion and we're here with the Summer Banner 2 summoning session. Our goal for tonight is very simple. We just want Ivy. That's really it. We'll summon some on red for Fjorm, not because I really want her, but I could kill her and get some really good fodder, right? So we'll see if we can pick up a copy maybe. But the main goal is absolutely Ivy. That is who we want. I would like to get 2 copies with no greens in the circle. I would like to get 1 copy because I want to keep Ivy, and then 1 copy obviously for her fodder because Soaring Guidance is kind of ridiculous, right? If you've been playing Summoner Duels or if you've just been playing the game like competitively, you know that Guidance 4 is probably one of the most powerful skills ever released in Fire Emblem Heroes. And so being able to get a flyer version of that essentially is really strong. So I would love to get an extra copy so I can put it on, I don't know who yet, but it's going to go on somebody. Definitely hoping for that. Other than that, this banner does not do much for me, if I'm being completely honest. I really don't care about, Tharja. I don't really even care about Fjorm either. I just wouldn't mind getting the fodder. I don't think they're bad units. I don't think Fjorm's a bad unit, at least. I think she's very good. But like Ymir, Ymir, I don't see it. I've seen people talk about how great she is. I don't see it at all. I mean, she's very tanky. I can definitely see that. But I couldn't see her really being used outside like a stall team in SD. Other than that, I don't get it. Ymir's Miracle has been proven not to be that great. It's not terrible, but it's not like top tier amazing either. So I'm not too excited about her. And the fact that Tharja is on this banner, like I get it. I don't hate Tharja, right? I just want to make that clear. I don't hate Tharja. But Awakening had no place to be on this banner. There's just no reason for Awakening to be on this banner whatsoever. The amount of favoritism Awakening has gotten this past year and a half is just absurd to me. And I don't know why they couldn't have put just like Summer Boucheron instead of Donald and like, I don't know, Lapis or like Queen Ev or someone else as the 4-star demote. Like it just blows my mind. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Just gonna hope that the engage luck turns up. We can get Ivy here. Maybe next New Heroes banner will be engaged as well. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like smoking copium at this point. Like I'm just like begging IS to give us something. And I know that a lot of people don't feel the same way. I read every single comment I get pretty much, unless I somehow don't see it. And a lot of people don't care about engage, it seems. There's very many people who are happy it wasn't engaged. I saw that as well. There's a lot of people who don't like that game, I guess, or like are just trolls and like seeing people not happy. But either way, like, you know what I mean? I definitely saw that. For me, it's just like engage isn't my favorite Fire Emblem game by any means. Like I don't think it's even top 5. But I think it brings like fresh, the conversation and like hype into the game. And I think Fire Emblem Heroes is one of the gacha games who's most based on hype, or like the banners bring hype, right? Like the banners are like the core of Fire Emblem, right? The game revolves around the banners. And you could say that's the same for any gacha, but I feel like it's even more so with Fire Emblem because of how the content works, right? Most of the content is like, just weekly content you do, like Ether Raids, Arena, etc. We don't really get like big events. Our big events are like, Tempest Trials. Like we don't have like the big events like Genshin has, or like even Honkai Star Rail starting to get. And so I feel like the banners need to carry the hype of the game, right? The banners are what keep people interested. And when you just, I don't know, I feel like the banners this year have not been that hype. Not saying that there's not been great characters, right? I've definitely had some, big favorites show up. Like for me, Lucia, Felix, and I know that the Fallen banner, was extremely popular as well. But other than that, like I feel like it's been kind of meh. Like even like Legendary Hinoka, right? Legendary Hinoka, fantastic unit, absolutely amazing unit. But like I don't think, other than the Hinoka fans or like the Fates fans, I don't think it was super hype. Same with Guinevere, right? Was Guinevere a fine candidate for Legendary? Sure, but was she super hype? I wouldn't say so. I just feel like Engage can bring that back, and I've as a Fate tuber and just talking to other people, right? We've noticed that there's been like a decline in interest in the game for sure because of the lack of Engage, I assume. The second we the second that the silhouettes dropped, there was so much conversation about the game all of a sudden. Discord was popping off, Reddit was popping off, my YouTube comments, Twitter, right? Everyone was excited, and then and then I go back to Reddit to see how hyped the people are for the banner, right? And the Salt comment thread, which is always pretty popular to be fair, is like 600 or 700 comments, and then the hype thread's like 50. I don't know. I just want the game to be, active and fun. I also just want it to be, for me personally, I want it to be something I look forward to every day, which is difficult when all I'm thinking about is where is Engage. Anyway, I'll stop talking about Engage because I know that many people are tired of hearing about it. Some people are just like burnt out about the same conversation every single banner. So let's move on to some questions. This one's going to be from Jack Topper. They want to know, do you think intelligence systems should give older units unique preference skills? Kind of like how old units get resplendence each month to make them a bit better. Yes! Question luck. Thank you so much, Jack Topper. Oh, okay, we got an IV. Awesome. So at least we'll get 2 IVs, which is really, really good. The IV isn't great, but that's fine, not a big deal. I still don't like this either. I think the base kit's not great other than fire or soaring guidance. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the skills have value, right? Like sabotage, attack, res is a good skill, and so is Stillwater. But I feel like you could have had better options. Like Remote Sparrow would have been way better. Brash Assault 4, someone brought up. I guess it was Joel brought it up. I don't know. But like, there's just so many other options. I think that could have been better. Anyway, let's that was amazing luck. Let's finish the question. So, do I think older units should get preference skills like Resplendence do every month? And if so, do you have any skill in mind for a certain unit that you would like to see? Okay. I mean, I would love that, but realistically, that would never ever happen. And the reason for that is that it would make old units more relevant, right? Which means that they're making less money because people are summoning less. So that would just never ever happen. Also, every new skill would have to have some kind of new effect, right? Or like, even if it's just a compilation of effects. And I think IS wouldn't do that because they only have so much design space, and they've proven that they are not very good at opening new design space. They're quite bad at it, actually. So I don't think they want to use up their creative room on older units. So I don't think that will ever happen. I would love to see it, but I just don't see that. I don't ever see it happening. Now, if I had a choice, right, what would I do? I would love to see the old Choose Your Legend units get preference skills that don't have it, right? Or even like the units who do have it and are bad, get them updated. That's what I want to see personally. Because I feel like Choose Your Legends units are like the most popular units in the game, right? They are the units who got voted as the most popular characters. And it's only fair that they get preference skills, right? So like Brave Roy, Brave Lucina, they both should have preference skills. Like that should just be the case. And I feel for like legendary or for Brave Ike and Brave Lynn, I would also like to see them have preference skills that were updated because Ike's in particular is really, really bad, and then Lynn's is pretty outdated. I think if you just updated Lynn's to like a full sweep effect, it would be useful again, right? So I think personally that's what I would like to see, and I don't think that's asking all that much, right? I don't think that would be too difficult to do. And I don't think it would break the game either, right? Like, even if you give Brave Ike a good preference B skill, it's not going to bring him back into the meta in like a really relevant way, right? He's just very old, his stats are kind of outdated, and even his weapon is outdated at this point, which is kind of sad, but it's still good. It's just not like, it just has an obvious weakness, right, of damage reduction piercing. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with that. Let's go to the next question from Draconated, and this is mentioning my last... Oh, it's Carol. I think I actually have a highly merged Carol. I don't really know because I never use him. He's like one of those units that came out like literally the beginning of the game, who just has a terrible stat line, so not great. Plus HP, okay. Draconated wants to know, if you picked Asker, you would have pulled nothing but him afterwards, so don't feel bad. So that's talking about my Asker and Mortis summoning session. As for the question, let's see. Do you have a favorite Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Shin Megami Tensei? For me, it's Final Fantasy V, Dragon Quest V, and Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. So I absolutely love Final Fantasy. If you have not heard me talk about it, I am a massive Final Fantasy fan. It's probably one of my favorite franchises in gaming, if not my favorite. And currently I'm playing Final Fantasy 16. I'm almost done with it. I'm at the very end. I've been at the end for like a week now, but I just haven't had time to finish it. And I want to give it the time, like the proper time, right? I want to be able to sit down and play for like 3 or 4 hours and really be able to enjoy the ending, which I just have not had time to do. But I've been enjoying it a ton. I think it's absolutely fantastic game. Easily my favorite game of the year. Is it my favorite Final Fantasy? I don't think so. Maybe the ending is so good it blows me out the water and it becomes my favorite, but I kind of doubt it. For me, it's Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is just a game that completely changed the way like I viewed gaming and like my perspective on storytelling. I love Final Fantasy VII, and to be clear, because I know a lot of people will think this, Final Fantasy VII was not my first Final Fantasy. My first Final Fantasy was 10 actually, and then I went back and played 7, and 7 just blew me out the water. It's so double cane. It's so good. The storytelling of Final Fantasy VII is so ridiculously good. The characters are some of the best characters in gaming, easily. They're so well written and so dynamic, and it's a really good game, especially when you consider the full compilation of games, right? With like the, Dirge of Cerberus, which is not very good, but I still enjoyed it. Crisis Core, Advent Children, right? All of them. Now the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So yeah, I kind of find it hard to ever trump Final Fantasy VII for me. When it comes to Dragon Quest, I like Dragon Quest 8. I think I've only played Dragon Quest 8 and 9, so there's not like the biggest variety to choose from, but I definitely enjoyed 8 more than 9. Yet another Myr. I think I have enough to like have 2 plus 10 Myrs. Unfortunately, she doesn't have very good fodder, so there's not really no reason to fodder her, so I guess I'll just merge her or something. I don't know. When it comes to Shin Megami Tensei, I've never actually played that. I played like a little bit of it for like maybe an hour, but not enough to actually have a favorite of the games. So there is that. But speaking of Final Fantasy, I actually was accepted into the Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis beta, which is very, very exciting for me. If you don't know, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis is their new mobile game coming out, and it's a mobile game where you get to play through the history of Final Fantasy VII, essentially. You're going to go through all the different games from the very beginning all the way to the end, but in mobile version. And I am super hyped for this game. It's technically a gacha, I think. I think there is like, you can gacha for like weapons or clothes. I don't think you have to gacha. I'm not completely sure. I guess I'll find out, right? Because I'm now in the beta. But I'm very excited for that, and I'll probably making some content on that video or on that game. I'm not gonna like do it like with Faye, where I'm like constantly dropping videos probably, but I probably do want to give like an impressions of the beta, maybe put out a guide or 2 about it. So if you are interested in that, make sure to drop a comment down below, let me know. And there's Garrick, our new star of the refines. Well, Barrymond really, but Garrick got second for sure. Very, very cool refine on Garrick. I don't know if I'll actually build him, because I don't know where I'd really use him, but it's definitely a nice refine for sure. I wish Ross would have got it instead of getting the trash Ross got. Oh, I'm so salty about that still. I'm so salty. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So, oh, there's Raymond too. Hey, getting all the Axe boys. Okay, let's keep going. I think we have time for one more question. This one's gonna be from Falcus. They want to know, just a shot in the dark, who do you think is going to be the Choose Your Legends unit, like to change up the meta of the 4? I personally think it's Soren. I don't know, I just have my hopes up that they treat him well, but who knows, could be any of them. Here's Sue. We're actually getting like so many 4-star special rates. It's kind of crazy. Sue, she's not bad, but she's definitely not great either. Also, they said, also for Morris really came in and said, you plus 10 me, do it again, peasant. That's very true. And honestly, I don't really need that much like bar save fodder at this point, so I might actually plus 10 another for Mortis. That might just happen. We'll have a near save and a far save for Mortis. Even though I already had my base one built for both already. But yeah, so out of the 4 for Choose Your Legends, who is going to stand out? I really hate to say this, because I would like to say it's somebody else, but I think it has to be Golveg. The thing is, right, we already know what Golveg does to an extent because of her base version. Like, we know her gimmick, right? And her gimmick is that she is a ranged Gale Force unit. And she's like Elgard, where she doesn't have to like charge anything. It's not like with like Leaf. She just gets another action once per turn, and there's a cooldown, right? That's really strong. That's like ridiculously strong. Hey, it's Bastion. So like, ranged Gale Force kind of fell off a little bit, I'd say. It's definitely not as strong as it was because saves have become so powerful, and both the Leafs can kind of struggle against the saves. I think Golveg won't have that problem. So I think Golveg will definitely show up, be very, very strong. Having that extra action will allow her to perform really well in probably like things like Ether Raids, if not other things as well. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if she ends up being the powerhouse amongst the four of them. And it's kind of unfortunate because I don't hate Golveg or anything, but I definitely would have preferred it be a real fire, or like a base Fire Emblem character, not an OC who hasn't even finished their story yet. You know, so I wouldn't mind seeing Soren like be really, really, really good. That'd be awesome, or even the other two as well. But I mean, who knows? Actually, now that I think about it, it might be Legendary or Brave Robin. If they get the grand strategy effect, it would just be Robin immediately, right? There's just no way. Anyway, we're at the Spark. I only got Ivy, but that's all I cared about, so we're gonna get another Ivy. I don't really care about Fjorm or Ymir very much, and being able to get a second copy of Ivy will be very, very nice, as I can fodder one of them for Soaring Guidance 4. There she is. She looks so good too. The art is really well done. Like, I actually like it a ton. She looks so good. Imagine if we got more engaged characters with good art. And it's drawn by Cubun, which I didn't know. I didn't, until someone pointed that out to me, I had absolutely no idea. I don't hate Cubun art like everybody else. I think it's like whatever. But I think this one's done very well. Anyways, that's going to be my summoning session. I'd love to hear from you how your summoning session went, if you did summon on this banner, and who were you summoning for? Were you like me and you were going for Ivy Hardcore and that's the only unit you cared about? Or maybe you're a big fan of the other characters on the banner and you wanted them as well. I know I did see a lot of people very excited for Fjorm and Ymir. Not so many people excited for Tharja actually, but I definitely saw other people excited for the other two. Anyways, drop a comment down below letting me know which ones you summoned for, if you did summon, and how it went. As always, I'd like to thank all my members for all their constant support, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. This has been Oblivion. I'll catch you all later.